your nose off, buddy. Spite your face. And Mitch McConnell endorsing Trump or Cruz. Sorry, back up. Mitch McConnell coming out this week and endorsing Ted Cruz. It's just, Mitch, hey buddy, that's not going to help him. They'll do more harm than good. But anyways, regardless. Sorry. So I just got off there on a tangent and on a rant. Okay, so the riots coming out of Chicago, and with Ted Cruz blasting Trump, saying that he caused these riots, there's been an outrage amongst Cruz fans, especially on Twitter and on Facebook, where people are blowing Ted Cruz up and saying that I'm switching, I no longer am voting for you, because that is despicable that you would say something about Trump like that in that sense, because it was Black Lives Matter. It was weeks leading up to the event that had this happen. Hello, Cruz. Yes, it's Black Lives Matter, George Soros, all these people, these evil people coming together to disrupt Donald Trump. I tell you, in all the years of my life that in all the campaigns that I've ever seen, I have never seen a more violent campaign ever. If you have, call in and let me know, 77249-SMITH, that's some YTH. Let me know, give me your opinion. So there's this guy named Steve Spell 2 on Facebook as well as YouTube. And I just stumbled across this guy, and I couldn't believe it, but this guy just had me in stitches, had me laughing, had me cracking up. So I pulled a handful of sound bites of his over the past couple of weeks, where he talks about some of these riots and he kind of gives his opinion on these things. And I love the guy because he's creative in a way, and he's got his own flavor, and he doesn't hold back. So here's his take on what's going on with the Chicago riots, and he'll play some news clips back to back, and then he'll give you his opinion. So here's Steve Spell 2 off of Facebook.
To the protesters in America, we will not be bullied or intimidated by your scare tactics. We want Donald Trump to make America great again. I'm sure you've heard by now that angry protesters, rioters, showed up at the Trump rally in Chicago and shut it down, violating our right to assemble and freedom of speech. CNN reports that the Trump rallies may no longer be safe for our friends and families to attend, starting a firestorm of controversy from sea to shining sea. After the event was canceled due to safety concerns, violent protesters could be heard chanting, "We stumped Trump. We stumped Trump." But who are these protesters, and how did this come about? If you think this was a spontaneous demonstration brought on by some video, I urge you to think again. A group called AnswerCoalition.org assembled a riotous mob with this post, with the headline of "Massive Protest to Stop Trump," and this flyer that you see depicted here. They gave out the address and marching orders and called for support by labeling Mr. Trump as a white supremacist. The post called for all immigrants, legal and illegal, including Muslims, to riot the Trump rally, urging them not to wait to take matters into their own hands and stop Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, our freedom of speech and rights to assembly are under attack. Therefore, I hereby call on the people of Florida, Illinois, Missouri, North Carolina, and the great state of Ohio to join us on Tuesday and vote to make America great again. Vote to take the country back and vote for Trump. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for free speech and a vote for freedom of assembly.
So that's Steve 2 Steve Spell 2, if you will, on Facebook and YouTube. I suggest you go ahead and follow the guy. I think he's absolutely hysterical. He's pretty funny. That was more of a serious one that he did from last week. Obviously, as you could hear at the end of that sound clip, that was just before Tuesday. And as we know, by Tuesday, pretty much it was all over with. Trump, according to Washington AP, this is how they put it, with math and momentum on his side, after more big wins, Republican frontrunner Donald Trump called on GOP leaders Wednesday to embrace the public's tremendous fever for his candidacy. If GOP leaders try to deny him the nomination at the contested convention when he is leading the delegate count, Trump predicted you'd have riots. I'm not sure if you'd have riots, but I will say this. The GOP is literally crumbling as we speak. They're falling apart. They're scrambling, looking for answers. They thought they had answers in Marco Rubio and his Gang of Eight. And as you know now, Rubio is gone. Bye-bye. Just like we all knew, Florida went to Trump in a huge landslide. Rubio, licking his wounds, left and went home. And I'm going to tell you what, Rubio, the reason why you lost is because you are part and parcel of the establishment. You've sold your soul to the establishment. And that's not what we want. We don't want those things. So we'll see what goes on with his political career. I don't know. I highly doubt that he's got any more left in him. But who's to say that the public has a short memory? That's why here at Smith Radio we like to reiterate and give you that information over and over again so that you will always be on top of things and you'll always know. And we'll bring them back up time and time again just to remind you of who these people are and what these people are about and what they're trying to do to America. So, Trump making this part of the AP story, it says Trump making a round of calls on morning TV talk shows, predicted he'd amass enough delegates to snag the nomination outright before the Republican convention, but added that, quote, there's going to be a tremendous problem, unquote, if the Republican establishment tries to outmaneuver him at the convention. He also said some Republican senators who are publicly trashing him have called him privately to say they want to, quote, become involved, unquote, in his campaign. Eventually, Trump did not name any names. So, no names, but I wouldn't put it past them. These politicians, these slick lawyer politicians, and if you look at it, all these politicians really are, they're lawyers selling snake oil. And let's check the phones. Mr. Producer says we've got a call. Let's see if we've got that call in here. Is that Kerry Smith on the line? Can you hear us? Okay. We've got some minor technical difficulties.
The audio okay?
But yes, we are here, but you are not coming through. Go ahead, say something.
I am here, and you sound like you're in the bathroom, but whatever.
Your voice levels are good, but I can't hear a thing. Let's see if
are you serious? You got to make sure everything's plugged in properly.
Okay. Are we there? Are we there?
I can hear you.
Let's go for broke, huh?
Can you hear me?
Like,
this is so professional. You there?
Looks like technical difficulties are going to tie us up tonight. I have no idea. Mr. Producer, can you grab that soundboard and make something happen? Are you there, Kerry?
I am here. I've been here the whole time. I can hear you just fine.
His levels are great, and mine are not. Dagnabbit.
Ah, you can't hear me. Well, let me try calling back in a minute.
Where are we at? Well, I guess that's going to be about that part of the show. Wow. I don't understand what's going on. Mr. Producer's going to look into it while we see what happens with Kerry Smith. Supposed to have the call in, and for some reason we do not have that call in for whatever reason. There we go. How about that? Okay. So I hope we have not sounded like we're in a bathroom the whole show. That would be awful. All right, we'll do a little sound check real quick and go from there. It looks like we'll do a sound check on iHeartRadio because that's where we love to tune into Smith Radio, as well as Spreaker. Yeah, what's up with the Spreaker? Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. Somebody wanted way too much money for the name Spreaker, so they went ahead and misspelled the word so that they wouldn't have to pay for it. Looks that great. Sounds like we're coming in. It's loud and clear. I hate to think that the very beginning of that show sounded like we were stuck in a bathroom. Okay. Well, let's move on, pressing on. We're going to have to catch up with Kerry later on. Not sure what Mr. Producer is working on right now, but we will press on, folks. Pressing on. So, as we were saying before, that the AP story out of Washington said Trump was saying that some of the people trash talking him, some of the politicians trash talking him in public, are actually coming up to him and wanting to be a part of his campaign. Just tragic. Tragic is what it is. These lawyers and politicians, nothing but snake oil salesmen, if you will. And that's literally, that's just who they are. So there's a veteran GOP strategist, Mark McKeon. He told Breitbart News this week that the rise of Donald Trump in 2016 election reflects the fact that for years, the Republican Party has no clear vision of the future. The GOP establishment, he said, soaked the place in kerosene. All Donald Trump did was light the match. The Republicans are just going to have to burn the house down and rebuild it. McKeon is the co-creator, co-executive producer, and co-host of a Showtime docuseries called The Circus. It chronicles the 2016 presidential race. He says that the GOP has told him, he's heard these things, said that the GOP will say, we're part of the RNC and will ultimately support the nominee. And then a couple of them were saying, well, we're making anti-Trump PAC ads. And a couple of them said, listen, if it's Donald Trump, then we may have to look at supporting Hillary Clinton. Which is pretty shocking to see. So, yeah, there's absolutely no coherency about what to do about Donald Trump. And that's why he's doing so well. I think that's why he's doing so well. A lot of people think that's why he's doing so well. Look, folks, something called The Secret. Okay? What you think about, what you talk about, will come about. If you think about something, you talk about something, you continually do that thing, you focus on it, and everything about you is about that, that will come about. And right now, the GOP is hating on Trump. Good or bad, they're giving Trump energy, if you will. Because whether you want it or not, you're going to get it. especially if you're focused on him.